we are back again on the Purple Podcast. This is episode number 15 now. Before we get rolling on in here, I'd like to say thank you to all you all listening at home. I appreciate the support and keep on listening because we're going to keep on making them, baby. And tonight we have a full house. We got 3 other lads on the mic tonight. This is the first time we have gone with 4 people, so enough with the delay. I will introduce the man to my right, or I'll let him introduce himself. It is, I guess right would not be the correct term for those watching the video at home. Across from the table from me, Michael Meredith, recurring star on this show here.
Yep, glad to be back. Essentially co-host, just loving it.
I'm not gonna lie, Michael.
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
No, Mike. I was thinking this out in my head prior to this episode. I was thinking I might have to just offer you a full-time position. Yep. You're on the team, man. It doesn't pay much. Actually, it doesn't pay at all. But
okay. Well, we can work it out. Man. Yeah. Well, I'll have my guys reach out to your guys.
Yeah.
Let's get something to going.
The preschool teacher football coach podcast.
And who is that? Oh, baby. We've been waiting for this day. I'll let him introduce himself. You're infamous at this point.
Defending bracket pool champion.
Really?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Still some outstanding Venmos, but I guess they're forgiven at this point. But
I don't even think I did one last year. Which doesn't...
Well, so you don't owe me any money, but some people at this table probably do.
I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
tell the people who you are.
Oh, I'm Will Leiter. Been referenced a few times on the podcast.
A few times. He who must not be named. Now you're named, man. I guess I can bring you up now. We can talk about you.
Yep.
You made it on. Actually, we did think that you were going to bail tonight, but, man, you're
I
here.
made it.
Thank you.
There's never
Thank you for coming on.
Yep, waiting for my contract, but...
Well, you got to put in the hours that Mike has put in.
Okay.
You got to put in the hours that Mike has. He's got to be the number one guest or the number one appearer on this show besides me.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. And who else is here? You haven't been on in a while either, have you?
I got to be like the second most popular guest, right?
No, man.
It's my second time on.
Griffin.
Griffin's been on a few times.
Griffin. Yeah.
He's been on a few times. My dad's even been on one.
Wow.
How about that?
Well,
Wow.
I'm still a step above now.
You are? Congratulations. Connor Gerhardt to my left here.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, so how's it been going, team? I haven't seen you in a while, Connor. How you been?
Been good.
Was DC a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Always a good time.
Did you go were you there for the whole week?
Yeah, I had to work from Lauren's apartment, but it worked out.
The nation's capital.
Yeah.
Lauren's apartment. Does she live in D.C.?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's why I was there. I was visiting her.
Ah, good deal.
Yeah.
Did you
Never
go to
been.
a bunch of museums?
No. We went to a bunch of restaurants, though. We ate a lot
How's
of
that?
places. As
They got a good food scene?
you guys know, we are foodies here.
Yeah.
We are foodies.
We
are
really do
foodies.
like our food.
We are foodies.
There was a piano bar in there somewhere.
Yes.
There
That was
was?
last time.
Okay.
This time, no special bars or anything like that, but
Some good
we ate-
food.
we ate a lot of different types of food, which is cool.
Never been to DC. I'm gonna have to make it there.
Me neither.
It's pretty cool.
It's a good time.
So that's the team tonight.
Yep. It's the
Mike
lineup.
Meredith, Will Leiter, Connor Gerhardt.
Let's get it.
So before I forget, as I seem to always do, we're gonna clinky. So everybody here, clinkies.
Clinkies.
Slinky.
All right, let's get down into it. It's the March Madness NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. It's that time of year. I was just thinking about it the other day. Is the college basketball tournament the best sporting event?
I say it's the best annual sporting event.
Okay.
Obviously, we're some soccer fans. The World Cup and the Euros.
Don't speak for me.
Everyone but Mike at the table. I enjoy the Olympics. I'm not going to put it on the same level as March Madness, but I do. I'm just saying I like sporting events that don't occur every year. You got to wait for them a little bit. But as far as sporting events every single year, March Madness has to be the best.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's just nothing like it.
No.
You can't compare.
There's not a tournament with 68 teams? There's not a tournament with that many teams, is there?
No.
Not that I can think
Other
of.
than that, no. Yeah.
That's like the
everyone
madness
has
aspect is just It's like an onslaught.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone has a shot.
Yeah.
So, keeps it interesting. That's what I've been saying about college football, man. They got to do something about the playoffs. They can't just be 4 teams because it's just it doesn't give other programs even a chance to compete for the highest level.
Right.
Like Kentucky's never going to be a top 4 team.
Yeah.
But if they play in
Never
a
say
tournament,
never, but
never say never. Exactly.
12 teams,
exactly.
though. 12 teams is it.
It's attainable. That's
it'll
what I
get
mean.
there.
That's it.
It'll get there.
I think so too. So, enough of that. I guess free agency's been going wild.
Yeah.
I talked a little bit on Monday about the Dolphins who they picked up a guard from Dallas since that time, but at that point we had a pretty noisy first day.
Yeah.
I guess it was the tampering period. I think today was the first day of free
Yeah.
agency, technically.
Oh, right.
I saw the Titans waived Julio Jones.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Like-
disappointed. They
Future
re-signed
Patriots.
Logan Woodside as the
Nice.
backup quarterback who, like,
Nice.
if Ryan Tannehill gets hurt, I mean, I don't know.
Shout out Tyler Cleveland if you're listening to this episode.
Titans fan?
No, his stepbrother's Logan Woodside.
Really?
Yeah, they're stepbrothers.
No way.
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty cool.
No disrespect to him, but
Yeah, Mike was kind of dogging him.
yeah.
I mean, man, he's a
I
backup.
mean,
yeah.
He's in the NFL.
He's doing
more
fine.
than we can
He's
do.
Yeah,
doing fine for
he's doing
himself.
all right.
I just, hope Ryan Tannehill doesn't get hurt.
Maybe they get that.
And then they re-signed tight end Jeff Swaim.
Man.
Big
That's-
name.
That's all they've done.
Wow.
Big name.
The
Well,
Titans-
the Patriots, on the other hand.
Yeah, the Patriots. Let's get to it.
We resigned our corner. They believe that he's like the next guy up, which I mean we're 2 for 2 for.
So you can trade him once he gets good?
Well, it's a 1-year deal, so we'll probably just lose him outright, like we lost J.C. Jackson. But
And Stephon Gilmore.
then we lost 2 starting linemen this offseason. We traded one, I think it was yesterday, for like a couple million in cap space, and haven't signed anybody. So things are off to a hot start, I'd say. So that's about it for us.
Are y'all gonna be Chargers fans this year together?
Why?
Because you lost Khalil Mack.
Needed to happen.
You think?
Yep.
What'd you get?
I'm not upset
Did you
about
get some crazy things from it?
No.
No, they got, like,
we
a-
got a 3rd-round pick, and I think a 2nd-round pick this year, and then I think a 6th-round pick next year. But next year we are also gonna have like $120 million in cap space, so
That's where the Dolphins.
we
are
could
at
sign
right now.
4 like insane free agents next year.
Yeah.
You gotta get them too. Is the thing. So
That's the new blueprint though, as the Rams showed, and that's what the Chargers are obviously trying to follow. Is just go all
Just
in
buy
on 1
people.
year. Just go absolutely all in.
Well, I mean, look
Yeah,
at the Bills.
but the Rams didn't really do it in the offseason.
Right,
A
but
lot
I
of
mean,
the
it's
pieces they acquired
you know,
throughout the year.
same concept though.
Yeah.
Just I mean,
The
I don't
Rams
know.
concept is just don't draft anyone.
I don't think any of us like cap stuff. Capology is so complicated. I don't understand it, but I don't know
Contracts
how
are
they afford the contracts that they've signed. Like you just hear all of their good players signing these like insane deals, and you're like, why can't my team afford a right guard? You know?
Yeah.
I do know.
Yeah.
Man, who knows? And then the Jaguars are just going insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting a bunch of, I'd say like B to C level players and paying a lot for them.
Mm-hmm.
I read an article a couple weeks ago about Christian Kirk saying that he had like a hot market, but you said the other night, is he a top 3 paid receiver in the league?
He's the
That's absolutely
third
insane.
highest
Yeah, that's
paid
wild.
receiver.
Would you rather have
in the
DJ
league.
Chark or Christian Kirk?
Christian
The fact that
Kirk.
we're having that conversation.
No,
is,
Christian Kirk is
like,
really good,
Probably
he's really
Chark.
good.
but he's like 5'10" and like
You
a
said Chark?
slot receiver.
I think I'd rather have DJ Chark.
No, he's got bad injuries and he had,
No, Christian Kirk's good, dude.
Christian Kirk's
Very
good, dude. But like,
versatile.
He
you
is
can
good.
use him in so many different sets. Like
I don't know, man.
he's just crazy good. I mean, he's a returner.
he's not
too.
crazy good though. He's good. Like he has potential.
No, but
like,
he's like a B+.
he's that guy who like signs somewhere in free agency and has a breakout year. And
They're
you're
paying
like,
him $17
good for him.
million.
They're paying him
Right.
far too much. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's good. Like he didn't deserve that, but he's good.
No way.
And then they had to release their leading tackler. So, Miles Jack.
Oh right,
I
he's
don't
good.
get that, man.
Yeah, he's great.
Dude,
Hopefully
it's
the
been a
Dolphins
weird
go
year
for
for
him.
like inside linebackers with lots of tackles. I've just seen a lot of them. I see a lot of headlines that's like so and so team releases linebacker led team in tackles last
Right.
year. Just the disrespect for the grinders on the team. Yeah. Oh well.
So shall we get into it, boys?
Let's do it.
It's March.
Oh yeah, Mike's also getting the house, so that's sick.
Congrats, Mike.
Seems like every time you come on, man, it's
That's
either
Mike.
you're getting married, now you're getting a house.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, he was on right after.
Oh, okay.
He was on right after.
Listen to the show, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
dude, tune in.
No, my bad.
Tune the fuck
Jeez.
in. So let's get into it. I guess we'll just.
All right.
I think the best way to do it. I haven't thought through it too much, but just go region by region. Just kind of say who we think's going to come out of there, and then maybe talk about little things here and there. Whatever.
So go all the way to the Final Four.
Like Elite Eight or
I'm thinking just say like basically who you have come or like your Elite Eight, and then we'll say like who wins that region.
okay.
Like go all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, but don't play the Final Four game.
Right. I got you. Okay.
You start because
Yeah, you
so
show
we
us
can-
how
That's
it's
a good point.
done.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
No, let's go game by game, right? And then each region.
Dude,
Every
I don't
single
know if we can go. We can't go game by game, dude. We're just gonna
Well,
have
some
to.
of them are easy. Like, did anybody not pick Gonzaga?
I mean, game one, yeah.
I picked Gonzaga. It's not that Georgia State game. Remember, I heard a podcast. What was that team? Ron Harper? Was that? No, not Ron Harper. He played
That's
for Wichita
Rutgers.
State. What was that Georgia State team? I think it was the year Louisville won.
Baker? Ron Baker?
No, he played for Wichita State.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've had some good teams in the past, but this
Wasn't
isn't
Kevin
the
Ware
team,
on
man.
Georgia State?
He
Oh.
was.
Yeah.
Kevin
RJ
He played for
RJ Hunter.
RJ.
RJ Hunter, the Hunters.
He
right.
played on the
There you go.
Celtics.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
That was a
they
good
had-
team, man. And his dad hurt his leg.
And they had
had to-
Ryan Harrow.
That's
that
what I was
transferred from
thinking.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking, dude.
yeah.
Didn't he go there too?
His
Wow.
dad had to coach on a stool. His dad was awesome. He doesn't
Yeah.
coach there anymore. But now Georgia State, not the same team. Gonzaga's probably gonna blow him out. So.
Yeah.
Probably so. And then I take Boise State in the next game.
I took Memphis.
I took Memphis as well.
I took
Talent.
Memphis off talent, and I heard a stat earlier on another podcast, and it said since Amani Bates hasn't been playing, Memphis on some metrics is the number 6 team in the nation. Amani Bates, since he's
wow.
been gone, they've just figured it out. They've played better. Jalen Duren, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Kentucky really
I
could have
know,
used him
man.
this
the
year.
thing,
man.
the thing with Boise State, because they had some
As
like,
a backup.
Boise
Player of the
State.
year.
Boise State gets like, I think they get overlooked a little bit just because their conference. Like they're
Right.
actually pretty decent. Like their defense is really good. They are the worst free throw shooting team in the tournament though, but they're older. Like they're like older players, and it's kind of a matchup between youth and like just talent versus an older team that's defensive driven. So
I got to be honest. I don't think we should do this for every single game.
I don't need
It's
to.
gonna take forever.
Yeah, it'll take forever. So I was just gonna go. Yeah, my Elite Eight. I had Arkansas ended up beating Gonzaga in the Sweet 16,
All right.
and they'll be playing Texas Tech, who beats Duke in the Sweet 16 as well. I had the first round some upsets. Not really. Davidson was. I had them winning. Other than that, I really thought about having UConn go into the Sweet 16 instead of Arkansas. I don't know why, but I really just don't believe in Gonzaga that much. I think they're good, of course, and they could easily. They could either lose in the fucking second game, I think, or go to the Final Four, and that's just how the tournament is, anyways. But Gonzaga, I don't know, man. I think you could just hit them on an off night. They haven't played great teams.
It's just what we say every year about Gonzaga. They haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I really want to see them go to like the Pac-12 or something.
They need to do it.
Because it's just so hard to judge them.
I think if any year was going to be their year, it's this one, though.
It's this one.
Yeah.
I think realistically, there's no way they don't make the Elite Eight. There's no way. I mean, they're going to
There's
lose to
always-
I agree
UConn?
with that. I think they'll make. No, Gonzaga's going to make the
There's
Elite
always
Eight.
a way, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think they're like one of the biggest locks to make the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I like
I
that.
saw something that said like I think 32% of the brackets have
Yeah.
Gonzaga winning. Yeah, that's the percentage of brackets at CBS that have Gonzaga winning it all.
Yeah.
So like it's not an unpopular pick, and they very well could be really good, but we just don't know. And even last year felt like it had to be their year. They were undefeated. They were undefeated and hit that last second shot against UCLA. I just don't think they back it up this year.
Yeah.
Just 2 great runs in a row.
I thought their team last year just made more sense. I thought they were a little more. This is a really balanced team they have right now, though. So I don't know.
I mean, they have Chet. I mean, that's always something you think of. But even still, man, like
They're probably a team I'll watch all of their games.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just really gauge.
Well, they're a 1 seed, you know, for the most part. I mean.
So should we go like everybody talking about the West region?
Yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech to win out of the West region. I think they're.
I also have Texas Tech.
I like that. Yeah.
I have them as well.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
I have Gonzaga actually, but
yeah.
Whoa.
Playing Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. So.
I picked Texas Tech. I think they're just really good defensively, and if they get hot at the right time, there's not a lot of teams that I think could beat them. I thought they were going to win the Big 12, but
that was apparently from top to bottom that was the best conference in basketball this year.
Yeah,
so a lot of people
and I'm surprised they didn't get more teams in. I was surprised to see the Big 10 get as many teams as they did.
I thought the SEC. Obviously, I'm biased, but
Dude,
I thought.
It was all good.
I just don't know how the Big 10 was the one. Like, I don't know how they were the one.
You could have put 1 or 2 more teams from the SEC and the Big 12 and taken out, like, Rutgers, Indiana, Michigan, of course. You could have taken them out. And it just it didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
I get the logic, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But I get the logic behind Indiana being in. But with that same logic, they had a great tournament. Texas A&M should have been in. You know,
Agreed.
With that logic.
Agreed.
I think the tournament matters. The conference tournaments matter. But with the logic of IU being in for having a good tournament, Texas A&M literally, they won, right? Or did Tennessee win?
Tennessee won.
Tennessee won. That's right. I didn't watch that game. I was depressed. But
if they would have won, they would have automatically.
Yeah, that's right. Duh. My Elite Eight, I have Texas Tech and Gonzaga. I think we all have that. I have Texas Tech winning. I think defense really matters in March more than it shows up way more in this tournament than it does all year.
Well, if they can score too is the thing.
Is they can score as well, and it's just so easy to get flustered in the tournament, you know. And I think that Gonzaga hasn't played a team defensively like Texas Tech, nothing remotely like it.
Who do you all have Duke losing to?
I have Duke losing Texas Tech.
Michigan State second round.
Really? Izzo?
2 years
ago,
or I guess it's not 2 years.
January, February, Izzo. He's great at coaching his team up in March.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who beat the Zion team, right? Pretty sure.
I don't remember.
I don't.
Sounds right.
I'm pretty sure they beat Zion with Cassius Winston.
Yeah, I'm out on Duke and Coach K's little
farewell tour.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a lot about teams like hitting like the right stride at the right time of year. Duke is like the complete opposite. They just look terrible at the most important time of the year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just like kind of floundering right now.
Any upsets in this region?
I've got Rutgers. I think that they're pretty. They play intense, and you just don't know what Alabama team you're gonna get. That's basically it for me.
I had Davidson over Michigan State.
I have talked about Memphis. I have New Mexico State over UConn. I have the 11 seed winner of the Rutgers Notre Dame game over Alabama.
Ooh.
And then Michigan State beating Duke. Those are my big ones. So.
I took Vermont to beat Arkansas. And I took that because has anyone seen like their last 4 games?
Vermont's?
Yeah.
No.
They beat everyone in their conference tournament by 30 or more points.
Really? Oh, wow.
I did read that.
They
I
are
like that pick.
hot as hell right now.
I like that pick.
And Arkansas, it's like if Note doesn't show up, who is going to show up?
And he goes cold. Like when he goes cold, he goes cold.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
they
I mean?
lost to A&M, right?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure because I think
I've watched like 2 or 3 games this year where Note they're like, oh, it's 2 points in a quarter.
I feel like this year Arkansas is like Alabama from last year, where they're either really, really good or really bad.
What did Alabama do last year? They went to the Elite Eight, didn't they?
Yeah, they played really good.
Yeah,
they
did.
One
but
seed?
No,
I thought they were.
Maybe they were.
Maybe I'm thinking back to some.
I think they were 2
Did
seeds.
you say last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good last year.
That team
They were-
last year was really good compared to this year.
But it's
I
like
agree.
either
They're
you're
not
playing
even-
really, really well, or
I know what you mean.
because like Iona almost beat them last
Yeah.
year in the first round,
Yeah.
and they were just having a terrible game.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's their coach?
Nate Oates.
Nate Oates. That's it's his philosophy. If you have an off night, you're
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. My computer is now, I guess, what is it, 6 years old now? So it is running out of space, and it made us stop. So we're back. That was the interruption. Mike was talking about Nate Oates. Alabama, if they make shots, they can win games. If they don't make shots, they can lose games, like most people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that pretty much wraps up the West.
That's basketball right there, baby.
We got 3 people taking Texas Tech. Mike, you are taking Gonzaga. Let's move on to the East. Mike, you start this one since I started the last.
Sure thing. So I'll just kind of list off my my Sweet 16 here.
Yeah.
Baylor, St. Mary's,
Ooh.
Purdue, UK. I got Baylor advancing, UK advancing in that Elite Eight matchup, and then UK coming out of that region in the East. I don't have too many upsets going on down here in this region, other than Virginia Tech over Texas
Yeah.
and Marquette technically.
Yeah, I guess so. That's correct. It is an 8 and a 9, right?
Yep.
There you go.
Nice.
That works.
It counts.
It does.
In my Sweet 16, I have Baylor, UCLA, Purdue, and UK. I have UK beating UCLA to make it to the Final Four. As they say, March, guards are way more important in March. Ball handling, tempo, poise, all that stuff matters a lot. And I think that's the reason why UCLA made a big run last year, and I think it's the reason they're going to make a decent run this year.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Juzang revenge game against UK in the Elite Eight. It makes me nervous. They've got Tiger Campbell, who handles the ball well and distributes well.
Yeah.
But I know I went to UK. I've been a UK fan my whole life, but I honestly think that when UK is healthy and playing their best game, that they are better than any team in the country on their best day as well. So hopefully we can get healthy and everyone can get back to playing how they were before all the injuries, and I think they're making it to the Final Four pretty easily.
I don't even think that's a very biased take for them. Like, to some extent, of course it is. But I think many people agree when Kentucky's playing their best basketball.
When was that? January before the injuries? Like the
very-
national buzz was all around Kentucky. Just
Yeah.
You've been a UK fan your whole life?
yeah, ever since the day I was born.
Is that a lie?
Oh, no.
Honestly, the Purdue game in the Sweet 16 does kind of scare me a little bit, though. Like I said, I mean, guards are
I
very,
agree.
very important.
I agree.
And Oscar Tshiebwe has done well so far against super tall big men. I think Zach Edey might be the best.
No, he hasn't. That's been his downfall.
Has it really? I'm thinking back to the Western game where they had 7-4.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah,
threw his
yeah.
body to him.
Right.
Western's on a
Right.
different level than Purdue. Purdue's
Right.
definitely way better. But Jaden Ivey scares me, and Zach
Agreed.
Edey scares me. I just think that UK, our best 12 or however many are on a roster versus your best 12, I think that we win. I just think that their top 2 players are a little bit scary. But I think UK gets it done.
All right, I guess I'll go next. I have UK coming out of this region.
Mhm.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
no,
There he
it
is.
hurt. I actually,
For the record,
Just,
Connor is a Louisville fan, and he is a spiteful Louisville fan. He will
I'm a
I
bitter-
honestly thought it was
bitter
more
fan.
likely that he would have St. Peter's beating Kentucky in the first round.
I
than
thought of that.
Kentucky making
I
it
think,
out.
did I?
Hey, they're
I
elite
think I thought
defensively.
they were
Actually,
the
I think they
Pelicans.
might have the best defense.
The Peacocks.
In the
They're the
field.
Peacocks.
Peacocks.
I messed
Yes.
it up.
I was listening to that. I said it out loud when I was listening. I was
think-
like, oh, the Peacocks.
I said Pelicans.
I want to.
yeah.
There's some sort of weird stat about St. Peter's where they are the best efficiency wise on defense. I think they're the best in the field or something
Really?
like that. But anyways,
Murray's also a great shooting team, too, second round. I
They've
think
also
Kentucky-
won 30 games. I mean, that's just a lot of basketball games.
yeah, Murray. Yeah,
the same
no,
team
they
Jaw
have
had.
the best record coming into this. Murray State does. I have them beating San Francisco, but so I have UK coming out playing UCLA in the Elite Eight. Like you said, Johnny Juzang revenge game. It almost feels like picking St. Mary's against Indiana it's like flip flopped. It feels like trying to pick St. Mary's to beat Indiana is picking an upset, even though they're a
Okay.
5 seed.
I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Like, I don't. Who is actually picking St. Mary's and why? So I have IU beating.
I feel like a lot of
St.
people
Mary's.
who are picking St. Mary's are picking them to go on a run, like Mike did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then they win the next game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I have UCLA beating Baylor, UK beating Purdue. I just think when it comes to Purdue, Sheboy is gonna gonna dominate their bigs.
Yeah.
It's not even gonna be like watchable. I actually think UK will run the table against Purdue, but
They got 2 bigs though. I mean, we just
I do have Virginia Tech also beating Texas. That's my upset in this region. And then I guess you could say IU beating St. Mary's, even though it doesn't feel like an upset. Yeah, that's my East. The game I'm most excited for. There's 2 games I'm most excited for, and they both involve UK. And it's UK versus Murray.
Really?
Because it'll be UK playing almost every Kentucky team. You know, it's really the battle of Kentucky.
It is, man.
They beat WKU already, who also beat U of L. Luckily, Louisville didn't play UK this year, but it's a battle for Kentucky. So that'll be a good game.
Shout out to Bellarmine, though. while we're
Yeah,
on
shout out
topics.
Bellarmine. They should have
shout
been
out
here.
Bellarmine.
They should have been here. They should have been like honestly, they could have been like a 12 seed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On
but-
the subject, too, Purdue is as close to Kentucky as you can get. I've got a lot of, I work with a lot of people in southern Indiana. They're all Purdue fans. They're
Yeah.
all Purdue fans.
That's true.
Purdue,
And then Purdue just matches up really well against Kentucky.
That's what I
I
mean.
think that'll be a really fun game to watch.
I think if you go to, New Albany, there's so many, Purdue fans.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
on that thought.
This my Sweet 16 is pretty wild in this one. I have UNC beating Baylor in the second round. They're waxed Duke, and I still think Duke's a good team. Obviously,
Yeah.
They did slide a little bit towards the end of the year, but UNC something that team's been
Baycott,
playing
man.
really
They're
well.
good. No, they're good.
Baycott is that guy. UNC fans love Baycott.
Everyone
other
else
fan hates him.
No,
Yeah.
he might be the most hateable player. He is.
He is.
He
Very
looks
hateable.
like a narwhal. He is
Crazy.
Oh.
one of the ugliest people I've ever seen in my
You're
whole life.
ugly. If you're listening, you're
And
ugly.
he talks a lot of shit
He
too.
talks so much
he is
shit.
not a nice person.
But he plays
He's
his
so-
heart out, though, man.
He
It's
does.
God damn.
No, he's a ball
Kind of
player.
has what's the most
Hate the guy.
politically correct way to say midget today? He has midget face.
It's not that.
I apologize for lack of a better term, but whatever. I'm not talking about his looks. He can play ball. That team's been playing very well, so
They have been.
so
They have, yeah.
You
They're
know-
scary. They are a scary team.
They are.
yeah. I mean, they came on
Just
strong.
They can play with
Inconsistent.
anybody. They can
Inconsistent,
play with
yeah.
anybody.
So in Baylor, they lost a ton last year. They're still good, of course. They're a 1 seed. They came out of the Big 12, but were they in the Big 12 championship? When did they lose?
So, funny stat. They lost their first game in the conference tournament.
Oh yeah, I did see a
Wow.
stat.
No team has ever won the
Oh,
national
I
championship.
saw that.
Yeah,
After losing the first game in your conference.
I did see
tournament.
that.
So that automatically, if you go by that
Who
stat,
else has won back-to-back national championships? Billy Donovan.
Florida, and then
No, I don't, dude. I
Billy
think
Donovan did. At
Yeah.
Florida.
Florida.
They did.
they did.
Yeah.
With Joakim Noah.
yeah,
What was I think? There
Al
was some
Horford?
stat that said some
Joking
team
Noah.
hasn't done it since.
Probably Florida, the last one.
yeah. Florida was the last one.
We're talking about Bill.
It happened before that. I want to say it hadn't happened since UCLA.
I'm sure UCLA had.
with Wooden.
Yeah, they went. I'm
I'm pretty sure they went back to back, but the last team to do it was definitely Florida.
I don't know. Well, before we move on, though, I think this is the hardest region by far. I've really
I don't.
I think UK is going to make it out, but I think
UK's
there's.
path worries me.
I think.
I think it's
Knock on
definitely
wood,
the
we're going to
region
beat
that's
St.
coming
Peter's,
next.
but every single game after St. Peter's from this point forward
Murray,
is, dude, Murray shoots the lights out. They shoot the lights out.
dude.
We're going to beat them.
You said Gonzaga doesn't play anybody. Who did Murray play this year?
They're 30-2, man.
Gonzaga's 26-3.
All right, no, I mean we're gonna beat Murray. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Murray's gonna beat us.
I don't think you have anything.
I'm just saying we're gonna have to battle.
It'll be a fun game to
sneaky
watch.
game.
I don't think there's a chance in the world Murray beats you all though.
Last thought before we move on to, I hate to say it if you're a Kentucky fan.
I just
Ben,
said
you've
UNC,
been-
man.
I guess.
The region coming up, the South region is
Austin
definitely
didn't
the
even-
hardest.
That's what I
Austin
mean.
needed to
No,
get
I think-
through
I
it.
think-
I didn't even
East.
get to say my 3 other teams
Look at the
in
5
Sweet
seed in the South.
16, Lider.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Look at the 5 seed in the South. It's Houston. They're like on KenPom. They're a top 10 team.
Houston? Dude,
Houston's a
I
5 seed. Are you kidding
have them
me?
losing first round. But before we get there,
Yes, go ahead,
ahead of
please.
yourself.
I've got Indiana.
Ooh, wow,
Against
okay.
UNC.
Wow, we're skipping over the good part.
So they beat UCLA in the second round. They beat St. Mary's in the first round. And they lose to UNC in the Sweet 16. I have Virginia Tech over Texas as well. Seems
Common.
to be a common pick after winning. I mean, they won the ACC championship,
Yep.
beat Duke, ran them
Right.
out of the gym a bit. So
Michael
Purdue,
Vick.
Michael Vick,
Shout out to Jack Varga,
Jack Varga, yeah,
SMM alum, St. X alum.
big time.
He plays for Virginia Tech.
He's a walk-on.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was
Beast. Is he an engineer?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know him at all.
Oh.
But
Hey,
shout
but
out,
shout out,
buddy.
man.
But yeah, shout out to him.
I have you winning the first game. Maybe you can make the last second shot. One shining moment.
Yep.
But then I have Purdue beating Virginia Tech
Okay.
to play UK in the Sweet 16. I have UK winning, of course, against Purdue and also beating UNC. So I have Texas Tech and UK playing in the Final Four.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the IU game last night?
I did.
Second half was a different story, but the
Exactly.
first half
Piss
looked
poor.
sluggish. It was bad basketball to watch.
Bad.
Yeah, but did you see that star emerge? That's what March is all about.
Dude, I love their coach, too.
Geronimo?
I love Mike Woodson, man.
I don't.
I love him.
I can't stand Indiana. I hate.
I can't stand Indiana as a
almost
program.
as much as I hate UK.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked shit about him on the last podcast. I
They
literally
just-
had I went quickly over the first 4 and I just said Wyoming. Just guessed it.
Without
basically.
knowing a thing about Wyoming.
No, that's what I did. I ran through the games in 2
I know,
seconds
I
and just
heard.
picked team.
Trace Jackson Davis is very, very good.
I'm
at
2 for
basketball
1 right
now.
now.
He's good at basketball.
All right, now, before we move on, final thought on UK. We live or die. And as a UK fan, you're going to hate to hear it. We live or die by Keon Brooks in this tournament.
You
I
think?
think we know who Oscar is. We know who
You don't think?
Xavier. We know who Tai. We know who they are. We need Keon to step up and be consistent. He's
No
been
doubt.
so inconsistent, man.
I think
He either
that's
has a great game or he's a
You don't think you live and die by Oscar?
Well, Oscar's the definition of consistency. He
I
just
think-
dominates every game.
I
A
think
bad
What
game
if
for
he
him
doesn't
is
show
10
up?
and 16. That hasn't happened yet. So
The Tennessee game.
he started good games though, man. Like you still look
He
at the
fouled
stats.
out with like 5 minutes left, and then you guys made a really big run. And imagine if you had Oscar during that run.
I'd argue I'm biased, but I'd argue that 5th foul wasn't a foul. But that's all right.
Yeah, no, that's regardless. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like
I'm just
Oscar
saying.
is-
I'm just saying our X factor, and also
he could be the X factor, but I don't think live or die by that is necessary.
Okay,
He's
that was
definitely an X
if
extreme.
factor.
Keon Brooks plays it like
Let me
his best
rephrase
basketball,
that.
you guys are going to make a huge
Let me
run. But
rephrase
you
that.
could say that
Throughout-
for like any team.
Throughout this year, we've had 2 versions of Keon Brooks. If we get the good version, I think Kentucky unlocks their total potential.
We've definitely had more bad than
No
good, so
Yeah.
maybe he's been.
Kellen
holding
Grady
this.
too is the definition of a streaky shooter, but I think you'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So
I think 2 of them, their play
love
is
his confidence.
integral
Oldest
about
player
our
like
team.
in college
I
basketball.
love his
He's got
confidence. Though.
24.
He's gonna take 8 threes no matter what. He might make
He'll be fine.
0. He might
Mentally,
make 5.
you
like-
know he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know he's not gonna freak out.
This
before
team
the
can
tournament.
shoot, which is a lot of our teams can't. So
Yeah.
it's fun seeing when this team's hitting shot. Davion Mintz.
I don't think
Like,
that
we have a
Keon-
lot of players that can be that.
I don't
X
think
factor.
Keon also realizes that like this is a weird take, but like he has probably the best backup on our team. Where like Jacob Toppin is probably the best player off our bench. So like you can be aggressive, you can like get fouls. Like there's some games where he just sits back and like watches like go get a quick 3 fouls. I don't care. Well, Jacob Toppin's coming in, like it's fine. He just needs to be aggressive. Is all I'm saying.
Agreed.
So, Lighter, you want to start the South?
The South is a tricky one, man.
I'm telling you, this is the hardest one. The
I've
South
seen
is
a
the
couple
hardest
Arizona games, and they seem like a complete team. So I've got Arizona, got Illinois. Yeah. Connor's an Illinois fan. I've got Tennessee, as much as it kills my soul. I hope they lose first round to Longwood. And I got Villanova. I've got Villanova beating the Illini in the Elite Eight.
All right. I'll take that.
Villanova just, I don't know, they just seem like a team that's built for March. They just seem like they're always, ready
Best
to play
free
in March.
throw shooting team in
Right.
the field.
I do like Illinois, though. I would not, like, if any of my Final Four teams are wrong, I think Illinois could beat Villanova. I think Illinois plays well without pressure. I think when they have when people expect them to win, that's when you're like
last
damn.
year.
Like last year, sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, bad year.
I think that they have the talent. Kofi's probably I don't want to say the second best player, but he's a damn good player.
He's the first, but he's the biggest matchup problem in college
Cockburn?
basketball.
right.
Yes.
Cockburn?
Kofi Cockburn.
Kofi Cockburn.
Yeah, it's Cockburn.
Yeah, we've got the Cockburn.
If we didn't have Oscar, I would be terrified to play Kofi.
Yeah. He is the biggest matchup problem offensively in college
I
basketball.
think Kofi, it's kind of like how they. I think it puts a lot in the refs' hands, like how they call the game.
It is. No, his game is called completely different.
It's how they call him, because I saw them last year just hack the shit out of Kofi. They're like, he's huge.
No, I've watched.
Right.
Obviously, I've watched a lot of Illinois games, and it's complete. You can hack him, and it really does come down to how he shoots free throws if we win games,
Okay,
or if we're even in games.
That was my next question.
Because
How does he
sometimes he's really good at free throw shooting, and it's surprising. But sometimes he's like, I don't know, he's like a 60%.
That's the beauty of March,
shooter.
man. Like, where are you mentally,
I
on
think-
that line?
Yeah.
close
I think
game.
Illinois needs another scorer.
The real problem with Illinois
you can't rely
is
on Kofi having to score all their baskets.
the real problem is Andre Curbelo. That's what it comes down to. If Andre Curbelo just doesn't really play, we are 14-1.
Really?
Yes. If he either doesn't play or plays minimal minutes, we almost don't lose. But when he comes in the game, someone had a really good explanation of his game. His game is basically it's a random draw from 1 to 10, but you take out numbers 3 through 7. So he's either a 1 or a 2 or 8, 9, or 10. He's either really, really good or just terrible. Missing layups, causing turnovers, just playing terribly. Or he's going behind the back, doing a spin move and laying it up. And that's going to be our X factor if we make a run or not, is if Andre shows up or just doesn't really play very much. So we'll see what happens
would you?
there.
So you don't want him to play?
I'd rather have him play in his 8, 9, 10.
So you take the risk, you gamble on him.
Yeah,
having
it's
a
March,
terrible
man.
game?
It's March. March players show up, and hopefully Andre is one of those guys.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a ton about Illinois.
Me either.
Kofi.
Kofi
Yeah, the
Cockburn.
Kofi's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
We got the Cockburn.
Got it bad.
Lighter, you still up, partner?
No.
You're Elite Eight, right? Did you say them all?
I'll go next.
I got
I'll
Villanova
go
beating
next.
Illinois,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
Illinois could easily beat
I was already talking,
That's
so I'll
on
go
me.
next.
That's on me.
I have the same thing. I have Villanova beating Illinois. My upset is TCU beating Arizona second round.
I have that too.
Oh really?
No, wait, no.
Okay.
Maybe if you weren't on your phone.
TCU has
more
beaten some
engaged.
really good teams this year, and they're sneaky good, and they can just cause matchup problems.
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest region. I mean, Arizona's good, Villanova, Tennessee. I mean, they could have been a 1 or a 2 seed. You look at
they were
these
definitely-
seedings, and all of these teams that are the 1 through 5 seeds could have been ranked higher.
Yeah, people
And-
are saying Tennessee should have been 2 instead of.
And then you
Nova.
drop off, and you see Colorado State as a 6. I don't know much about them. I'm not gonna lie. Ohio State could have been seeded higher. They're a 7 seed in here. This is, to me, this is the hardest. This is the hardest region to get out of, and I have Villanova getting out of it. I have them beating Illinois. also beating Tennessee. My upsets here are obviously TCU. I said beating Arizona, and then I also have Michigan beating Colorado State, and then Loyola over Ohio State. Those are my upsets. Fun fact about this region, though, before I hand it off here, this is a presidential marriage matchup here.
What do you mean?
Jill Biden graduated, got her master's degree from Villanova, and then Joe Biden went to Delaware. So,
oh man,
you gotta wonder.
Oh,
I haven't seen his bracket or not.
We need a watch along.
We need a
watch along. Let's see what
we
Dr.
need someone
Joe
to bring
Biden's
that up.
talked
I'd love to
about.
hear some commentary from the White House on that. But I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, I actually, Arizona was tricky, but I just don't have a lot of Actually, I don't love Illinois that much this year. I think they're good, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't love their offensive game. And if you have to go only through Kofi, I feel like people really can key in on that in the tournament, especially when you start playing better teams. And Arizona's 31-3. They haven't played a ton of people, but
31-3 is an accomplishment, dude. If we're gonna call that out for Murray State to have 30 wins, 31, with their schedule, I think
they beat Auburn though too. They have good wins. They beat
they
really
do.
good teams.
Arizona actually beat Illinois this year.
They beat Illinois too.
I think they were down by 20 at Illinois, and then they came back and beat us.
Nice.
So I'm taking Arizona over Illinois in the Elite Eight. I have UAB beating Houston. I have Seton Hall winning against TCU. Then nothing else really in the. I have Loyola as well, just because why not? Nova end up playing Tennessee in the Sweet 16 matchup. There, then Arizona and Tennessee will be the Elite Eight. I have Arizona winning. I have them being the first 1 seed in my bracket, going through there.
All right, I guess on to me.
That's you, Mikey.
So I'll wrap up the South here. My Sweet 16, Arizona, Illinois, Tennessee, Villanova. With Illinois beating Arizona, actually, in the Elite Eight. So decent amount of love for Illinois tonight. I got Tennessee beating Villanova. So that's an Illinois-Tennessee matchup in the Elite Eight, with Tennessee coming out of this region. To me, they're the strongest 3 seed. There's no doubt in my mind that they should have been a 2 seed.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
And I think they're playing really well. They really give teams trouble because they play their heart out on defense. And then they got a couple good freshmen where, it can go either way. It's you need a lot of experience, or your freshmen start to get really hot during March, and they've got potential there with Ziegler and Kennedy Chandler. So
I think Tennessee is the most battle-hardened team in the field.
I think Arkansas is in the same conversation. Tennessee's better.
They are.
Tennessee has played in so many high-level games, just against really good opponents.
God, they looked good against Kentucky, man.
They did.
They smothered. They just smothered us.
Yeah. They're good offensively and defensively.
And I hate Rick Barnes, but it's because I hate to play against him.
Then again, the way I see Tennessee losing is just a really bad offensive game.
Yeah.
A really low-scoring, just nobody's hitting shots. Kennedy Chandler.
What did Kentucky beat them by the first game?
Yeah.
Lots, man.
At Kentucky.
You guys also shot 80% from the field, and then they shot. I think they had a pretty good game, offensively too.
I think that's more Kentucky's story than Tennessee's story, because we shot historically high through the first half.
No, I think the way that Tennessee is going to lose is going to be a low scoring, just the other team just edges them barely. Just because they just shut down. They have no one to go to if they don't have Kennedy Chandler going off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who'd you have again, Mike, in the Final Four?
Tennessee.
Yep. All right.
I like that pick. I feel like it's very likely.
Yeah. No, that's a fair pick.
Arizona's already played Tennessee as well this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Tennessee won 77-33.
Yeah, Tennessee has some really,
What?
really good
What?
wins.
Say 77-33.
I was watching that game.
77-73.
They were. I think Tennessee.
Whoa.
You're really earning your keep, man. Maybe I need to pay you.
Keeping you honest.
Yeah, I need it, dude. When I listen back to the ones I do by myself, I always miss the mistakes. Like I'm just like
Well, it's because you.
I called Matthew Stafford, Sam Bradford, I think twice, and then did it
Really?
on the next one.
Really?
Too, with Michael. Did you correct me? Yeah.
Sam Bradford, man.
Don't know where it came from. It just happened. But
All right, final region here.
final region, Connor, you lead them
Before
off, buddy.
before we start though, like this is probably the hardest.
Go.
Before we start.
Dickhead. Before we start, I think that this was the hardest bracket to predict. I think it was maybe the easiest to
Overall?
get out of
Like the entire bracket or this region?
this region.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
I
it was
could
the
see
hardest-
Illinois losing first round. I could see us losing to
It
Chattanooga.
can go anyway. Man.
I could also see us making it out
I
of
thought
this region.
about picking that 13. I thought about picking Chattanooga.
No, it's
They
not
got-
uncommon.
Don't they have that dude from Kansas? He got kicked off the team, or he left the team. I was reading about it. There was a guy 2 years ago in like 2019 when them and Kansas State got in a really big fight. He got suspended for 12 games. Kansas like went downhill and he like left. Basically went to Chattanooga and like is balling out. So
Yeah. And then again, like, what if Loyola comes out of this region? I mean,
That's what
this
I'm
is
saying. Do you get what
there
I'm
are
saying?
some
Like, I
really
don't think
good
it's
teams
the
in this
hardest
region.
region to make out of. I just think all the teams like are on fair footing. I think that they could, it's going to be a battle to get out of here.
agree to disagree.
They're all 8.0s.
I think that's kind of the same thing, though.
All right.
All right. Anyways,
Moving
Midwest. Moving on. I have Kansas coming out of this region, and I hate that.
yeah,
I absolutely I hate myself for picking that because I think Kansas is completely fraudulent. But every game, I was like, all right, Kansas. I also think they could lose to Creighton second round. I think Creighton could be one of those teams that makes a run this year. I have Kansas beating Auburn in the Elite Eight.
Chalk.
Yeah, no. You got to have some chalk, though. I mean,
Yeah.
every year there's going to be some. And, like, if you look at who Auburn plays, they have a really easy route. I mean, really easy. Wisconsin might lose first round to Colgate. I didn't pick that. I picked Auburn to beat Wisconsin. But that's all Auburn has to beat in order to get to the Elite Eight is Wisconsin. They're going to beat Miami. They're going to beat USC.
Keep in mind, LSU does not have their coach.
Exactly. No, I picked Iowa State.
They probably have.
I picked Iowa State. That's one of my
did?
upsets.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
If I missed that.
I picked,
They probably have the best prospect, NBA prospect, the best player, Tari Eason, in this region. But with that being
LSU
yeah, Tari Eason's probably the highest rated prospect.
over Jabari Parker.
Jabari
Oh, I'm
Smith.
sorry. I'm so
Jabari
sorry.
Smith.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Second best. Second best.
Yeah.
who'd you say?
Tari Eason
Oh.
is awesome.
Yeah.
But obviously Jabari's way better.
Auburn
But
is also very, very good. I mean, I like
I
Auburn.
just think they got a real feel about them. That like
Who do
it's
you see
just
that- who
like,
do you see
God,
Auburn
they're gonna
losing to?
collapse, man.
They have the same.
Who's Auburn going to lose
They
to?
have
That's
the
the
same
problem.
Duke
is I don't
field.
know,
dude.
man.
I
where
think
they play-
Auburn, of the two seeds, Auburn has the easiest path by far.
Yeah.
Like UK, I guess you could, but UK has to get
No,
past
no.
Purdue.
I
Like
think
all Auburn has to get past. Like if you're
Has
going
to.
seed
not,
wise,
not to go
is
back
Wisconsin.
to UK, but I think UK's path is very like tailored to them. You know what I mean? Like, how do you beat UK?
Duke has a
That's
harder
their path.
route because they have Texas Tech in there, and then I mean even their second round game is gonna be a tough matchup.
Yeah, man.
Villanova's gonna have to play either Tennessee. They're gonna have to get past Loyola or Ohio State. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
Auburn, Miami, or USC? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean Jacksonville State shouldn't even be in it. That should be Bellarmine. Like I always.
I think a lot of
Oh, I
I
always-
think a lot of my I'm gonna recognize my spite in this.
Auburn has a very easy route.
We'll get to my bracket, but I have them losing to Wisconsin, and I think
Wisconsin, I think they're frauds even more than
I think they're
Kansas are frauds.
overrated.
They might lose first
seed-wise.
round. Like that might be one of the biggest upsets of this bracket is Colgate beating Wisconsin. Anyways, I have Auburn playing Wisconsin. I have my biggest upsets here I think these are the rounds that are going to produce some upsets. South Dakota State beating Providence, and then I have what else did I have? I thought I had Iowa State beating LSU. Those are my upsets.
And Colgate.
No, I picked Wisconsin to beat Colgate. No, but like what I'm saying is Wisconsin, they could. I could very well see Colgate coming out against Wisconsin. I have Auburn beating Wisconsin in the Sweet 16. So yeah, that's my Midwest region. I think this one is going to be pure chaos. The Midwest.
Yeah, I can promise you right now, everything is going to be chaos.
Yeah, no, I know. And you have to put a double-digit seed in your Sweet 16. It's just it's down to which one you're going to pick.
Double digit?
Absolutely.
Not like an 8 seed or something. Like
No, you got to put a
double digit.
You got to put double digit.
Wait,
I have South Dakota State
Yeah.
as my double digit, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I have Kansas, Iowa, LSU, and Auburn. Honestly, was not aware that LSU does not have their coach.
Neither was I.
Yeah, Will Wade
got fired. But here's the funny part is they knew about these allegations like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, no,
But
It's
they
just
just
that
got their letter.
Right,
And
but
then said,
everyone,
but
this
yeah,
has been
yeah.
commonly known.
That being said, I'm still going to go with LSU. I think they're one of those teams that, like, people really loved them earlier in the year. And it was just I think it was a tough SEC. I think every team was pretty physical, and there were a lot of good teams. I mean, A&M, who didn't make the tournament, but Arkansas, Tennessee, they all have that kind of same vibe to them, with each one being better than the other in their own.
This is random, but it reminds me of that Florida State team that like Patrick Williams came off of 2 years ago, where like they're very athletic in a defensive way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'll meet you at the rim and they'll steal the ball out of your hands. Like
That's
they're
what I
very
mean.
athletic on defense.
And
It
that just
scares
feels
me,
like that can
yeah.
keep them in the game.
Right, yeah.
At any point.
Especially in March.
So I have them beating Wisconsin in the second round. And then I battled with USC beating Auburn. I don't know why,
So
to
did
be
I.
honest. But I battled it.
They beat UCLA this year, man. They've won some big games.
No, they're a fine team. Obviously, they're not great. But Auburn, they give me the same Duke feeling where they hit their peak too early and have kind of, skipped into the tournament, just not really hitting the way they were. So
they're another team that lost their first game
what's their
in the
more,
conference
like-
tournament.
yeah, they are. That's
So
what I mean.
I don't think there's
What's
any
their
way they
big
win it
win
all.
other than Kentucky when, like, we had two of our most important players hurt in the same game? Like, I can't think of a game that Auburn won that was like, holy shit, like, they're good.
I'm pretty sure they
I
beat
don't
some,
know.
some good teams.
They probably had some fine ones. I mean, and they have Jabari Smith, and I have Auburn beating LSU in the Sweet 16. It's going to be Iowa and Auburn, and I'm taking Iowa.
Dang, it's just honestly. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy. But honestly, their best wins are Kentucky and Bama twice. They lost to Tennessee. They lost
That's
to
what I'm
UConn.
saying, dude. Like,
Yeah.
They lost to Arkansas, and then they beat Murray by 13.
for our listeners, we have a good friend who's an obnoxious Auburn fan. So I've paid a lot of attention to Auburn.
You can just call him an Auburn fan. All Auburn fans are obnoxious.
All Auburn fans are
I don't
obnoxious.
think he's that terrible.
But we have one of those obnoxious
He's an Auburn
obnoxious
fan. They're all
fans
terrible.
as one of our friends.
There's worse.
So I pay attention to Auburn and I look for
met
when they
worse.
lose.
Worse Auburn fans or worse fans?
Worse Auburn fans.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just Brewer. If
He
you're
fits right in,
listening,
though.
You're gonna name drop him now.
I
name
don't.
dropped him and then he
Auburn's
jumped on
best.
the name drop.
Auburn's only really good win that they're like touting is
Yeah.
Kentucky. And if you're a Kentucky fan and you watch the games, you know that those two players who got hurt in that game were very important to our team. So
And still almost won.
yeah, right.
Listen to this one. Since 2013, there has always been a team in the Final Four with a 5 or higher seed.
Oh wow, man.
That's my 5 seed. I'm taking Iowa in the Final
Nice.
Four.
Okay.
Arizona.
That's a good pick.
So I got Iowa, Arizona, Texas Tech, and UK in my Final Four. I had South Dakota State over Providence. 30-4, man. They could beat Iowa. That might be a team that goes
That's what I
double
had.
digit deep.
I had South Dakota State in the Sweet 16.
I think they're
beating
spray
Iowa.
ballers. I think they shoot.
I'm pretty sure they have the best offense.
Yeah, I think they spray.
the
They have
country.
super efficient offense or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Jackrabbits?
The,
The
Jackrabbits, baby.
Everyone is taking them to beat
Jinx,
Providence.
you owe me a soda.
Oh man. But yeah, no, the Jackrabbits have a really, really good offense.
All right, you good, Austin?
That's me, buddy.
All right, I'm going to roll through this real quick. So my Sweet 16 is looking like Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Auburn. Again, I do put Auburn on that same level as like Duke and like very beatable, but also could catch fire. I think Auburn's better than Duke. However, I have Iowa beating Kansas. I have Wisconsin beating Auburn. And I actually have Wisconsin coming out of this region.
Wow. Wow.
The reason being, I have not watched a single Wisconsin game, but I've heard a lot about Johnny Davis.
Yeah.
You know, in
They
contention
feel
for
like a
player of
March
the
team,
year.
dude. Don't they? They
I
feel
mean,
like a March team.
They
Like,
always are able to do something in
Right.
March. They're always,
I think this is the PTSD coming back.
It could
from
be.
a Wisconsin March team.
it really could.
Coming from a UK fan.
It could.
I think
We
you're
got
putting a
them
little
one year,
bit
though.
too much credit. You're giving a little bit too much credit to Wisconsin.
It's
but-
possible. It's
Yeah.
possible. But I mean, if the refs let them get off shots after the
After the
shot
shot
clock
clock's
runs out,
down.
then anything's possible. So,
Right.
so
you
yeah,
can beat undefeated 38-0 teams if you let them do that.
that's right. But just heard a lot about Johnny Davis and how he's a hooper. So
He's all right.
I'm gonna ride that Wisconsin team. I think Iowa's a pretty good team as well. So I don't think Kansas will come out. I don't think Auburn will come out of that region. In terms of upsets, I also picked South Dakota State. That might be the only one. So
I think I'm going to go out and say that this. I feel like this is probably the easiest region to get out of.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So my Final Four is
I would
looking.
have loved for Illinois to be in this region.
It's looking like Gonzaga, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Wisconsin.
not to piggyback off of Mike, but I have the exact same Sweet 16 and I have the same exact philosophy. I don't think that Kansas or Auburn makes it to the Elite Eight. I think they're both, when they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they are ice cold.
They suck.
I think Wisconsin takes advantage of Auburn when they play in the Sweet 16. This is definitely recency bias, but I have Iowa beating Wisconsin in the Elite Eight and making it to the Final Four.
Yeah,
Austin, we
baby.
watched this game. We watched that conference championship here,
With Purdue.
and man, they were hitting their shots. Man, they just played well. Like it just looked like an Iowa team.
Everyone on the
in
floor
their
for
full
Iowa can hit a
form.
three.
Well,
It looked like an Iowa team in their full form, man.
I
Like,
had no idea
looked
that
like some good old
Keegan
fucking
Murray
farm boys.
had a brother on the team.
man.
Are they twins?
I don't know, but Austin and I watched this game on Sunday,
Yeah.
and they looked good, man.
No, they're
people-
good.
people
They're
are
good.
picking Purdue to go to the Final Four, and if they're picking Purdue, Iowa just beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
No,
the,
Iowa's
in the
good.
Big Ten championship. So, like, I think they're a
So
great
much of
five
March
seed.
is mental, but if they've got whatever underdog mentality they had in that,
We were-
in that
They're
tournament,
a 5 seed. Dude.
Talking
That
about
seems ridiculous.
X
To
factors,
win the Big
Iowa does have one though, and it's Bohannon. If Bohannon shows up and he's hitting his shots, they're gonna win.
well, I
Like
think
they're
Kentucky
really,
has
really
two
good team.
X factors. I think every team has an X factor. Right?
Yeah,
Just being like,
but that's definitely Iowa.
if
'cause
Iowa just goes into the tournament, and here's the thing about March is somewhere along the way they might get to the Elite Eight and say like, oh, we're overachieving. We just beat Kansas, and they might get in their own head. But if they just play free and play how they did in the tournament as the underdog, and they hit their shots and they play well, I think that they can make it to the Final Four.
That's the thing about the NCAA tournament, dude. It is a long tournament.
It's an emotional.
You gotta
It's an
win
emotional
games.
tournament, man. Like it's all about. A
I'll
lot
say
of it's
one
about
thing,
mindset.
It's
though.
a journey.
it's really hard for me to ever put a Big Ten team in the Final Four.
I think I was the Big Ten team though. I think that's the team, man. I don't
I-
think that they're.
I'm
I don't think they
always
have
with
an
the
ego about them. You know what I
Fade
mean?
the Big Ten
Okay.
mentality. That's my philosophy there, and that's why I actually have Iowa losing to South Dakota State.
Ooh.
I have South Dakota State in the Sweet 16, like I was saying.
Whoa.
That's my double-digit team.
I was
That's gonna make the Sweet 16.
I was thinking when I was filling out this Iowa stuff, is what happened to Luka Garza? Is he in the NBA?
That's a good question.
Because he was he was so good in college.
But he
he's
just
like-
doesn't make sense in today's.
I want to say he's in like
Yeah.
the Knicks system or something like that.
He'd be he'll be great overseas.
If
at
he
some point.
develops a
Yeah.
shot, like he could be fun. Like,
He's
I-
gonna go
Pistons.
play in Italy with
He
his
could shoot
brethren.
three.
Pistons. He's also pretty old. He's 23.
Pistons?
He played on March 11th in the game
Yeah, I was curious. I was thinking about
for
that.
the worst team in the NBA. Yeah. No, but it is interesting, like, players who are good in college who, like, their game doesn't translate. But all right, so let's just go around and who's in your Final Four? I've got Texas Tech, UK, Villanova, and Iowa.
I have the same thing, except I have Kansas from the Midwest.
Okay.
I got Tech, UK, Iowa, Arizona.
Gonzaga, Kentucky, Tennessee, Wisconsin.
All right, I'm just going to run through my Final Four. I'm taking the Cats against Texas Tech. I think it's going to be tough for us. It's going to be whoever takes the tempo, whoever controls the
Nice.
game. And honestly, who controls the game for the most part is normally a team who's controlling the boards. So I think we have an upper hand in that. But if we're not hitting shots, if we're not scoring points, and Texas Tech lingers around for too long, also, I mean, they can score too. So I think it'll be a tough matchup. It's going to be a thing where we need to be running up and down the court. That's when we're at our best anyway. So
Right.
I think we need to be doing that anyways.
Yep.
So that's what we'll do though. The Cats will win that one, and then we will play the Arizona Wildcats,
Oh man.
Man, okay.
Nice.
which we've I'm pretty sure we played Arizona in one of the late '90s championships.
Oh, okay.
I think it was '98.
Sure.
Man, that's tough.
I'm not gonna fact check you.
That's bad. I should be a better Cats fan than that, but I'm pretty sure it was '98. Anyways, they beat Iowa. I think Arizona. I think they just don't really get challenged, and I think they're pretty complete. I think they can get beat, but I don't love Tennessee's going to be their biggest matchup. I think they'll handle Iowa a bit better than Tennessee. I think they win, and then I think the Cats take it home. The Kentucky Wildcats, 78-71 for whatever tiebreaker there may or may not be.
All right.
What is that? Your score? Was it 96?
It was
Oh, it was
Utah.
Utah.
Yeah. That's same area though.
I think they had Andre Miller. I'm pretty sure on that team. Maybe Utah did.
Does that go to me now?
Go to you.
All right. So on the left side here, Gonzaga versus Kentucky. Kentucky taking that one. I would love to see Drew Timme try to match up against Sheboy.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
That'll
funny.
be a fun game.
No, I think it'd be funny because I think he would suck. I think
Timmy?
I think Sheboy would eat him for breakfast.
Oh.
We lost in '97 to Arizona.
Do you really?
Yeah, lost in '97. So rematch from them.
And then on the right side here, Tennessee versus Wisconsin. Got Tennessee winning that one. So it's a championship matchup of Kentucky versus Tennessee for the fourth time this season.
Oh baby,
Wow.
Cats,
the only one that matters.
Cats winning number 9, baby.
Against
Two.
the Volunteers.
82-70.
Let's hear
Tying the season series.
All right, Lighter. Let's hear yours then.
It really feels like a Cats year, man. I feel like we really have a complete team.
I told you. I was gonna come here.
So I've got Kentucky playing
Yeah,
Texas
that's how we
Tech.
got
and
you here.
I've got Kentucky playing Texas Tech, and I think that Texas Tech's defense has carried them this far. I think that they just stun teams with their defense. I think Kentucky on their best day has good defense, but they've got a lot of firepower on offense, and I think that it ends up beating Texas Tech. I hate this side of the bracket. I've changed my answer a million times throughout this podcast alone. I've literally scratched out 6 different teams.
Wait,
On that
you said-
side,
You said it ends up being Texas Tech?
I got pretty.
no. I've got
Beating.
Kentucky beating
Beating.
Texas Tech.
Beating
I think
Texas Tech.
I think our offense. I think Kentucky's offense beats Texas Tech.
All right, dude.
And
chill out.
Kentucky gets in that.
Whoa.
Kentucky makes this to the national championship.
Hey, what's that?
I've got Villanova playing
that.
Iowa. That recency bias is hitting with Iowa, but I think Villanova's the better all-around team. So I have them playing Kentucky in the championship, and I think Kentucky just overwhelms them.
Another Wildcat battle.
Now the
Wildcat.
Wildcat battle. I think Kentucky overwhelms them I think Oscar's too much to handle. I think our shooting is doing well. I think Cal has the team fired up for 9 national championships in program history. Connor, tell me I'm wrong.
What?
Tell me I'm wrong.
Wrong about
Who you got winning?
Oh, yeah. I actually have the same national championship. I have
Nice.
Texas Tech, UK, Villanova, and Kansas in my Final Four. Villanova playing UK. Have you guys watched Villanova?
The
play at all this
Villanova
year?
Wildcats, man.
Yeah.
Tell
Have
me-
you guys
tell-
watched Villanova?
Tell
play
me
this
I'm
year?
wrong. Tell me how Villanova's going to beat Kentucky.
I have them winning 73-68. Have you guys watched Villanova?
I
play this year?
think, all right, let's come back to me. I think if UK makes it to this point, that we're playing our best basketball, and I think we would roll over a Villanova team.
Have you guys
To
heard?
answer your question, no.
I've
Ryder, have
seen
you
like
watched
one or
Villanova?
two. I've thrown them on while I'm,
What's
messing
that?
around.
play? Villanova.
I've seen him play some games.
They're good. They are like Loyola. They're what Loyola wants to be. They're the best free throw shooting team in the country.
They care.
They care.
Yeah.
They have Jay Wright. I think who is the best coach in
Yeah.
the country.
I think Jay Wright's the best coach. No,
They are
all
built
hype.
for March. They have all been there before. I mean, they're an all-around team. Their biggest problem is their big man. That's what it comes down to. But this is March. It's not about your big man. It's about your guard
guards.
play.
It's about your
It's
guards and your
guard-
shots.
Yes, it is. And
Unless he's the player of the year.
I agree
think
with
Oscar,
you, Mike. But I think guards are so important. When a team goes on a run in March, it's up to your guards to slow it down or speed it up, protect the ball, hit your shots.
I agree.
Guards
I
are
could
the most
also see
important thing
neither
in
of
March.
these teams making it, and it being like Gonzaga versus
UConn
Arizona,
make that happen?
and- which is probably what
The
it's going
people
to
are
end up
like, if
being.
you have guards,
But
you're
for the
just gonna be good
sake
just
of
'cause
this,
UConn had Shabazz.
I want
Napier,
to see,
Kemba
yeah,
Walker,
like I want to
possibly.
see Villanova
Boat
versus
Wright
UK.
that 1 year too. Man, UConn's guards. I think that's where that notion came from, because UConn's guards would just.
I mean, it's just how
go
it
on
goes,
fire in
man.
the
Like
tournaments.
Louisville's championship.
Because think
like,
about it, it's
like
it's March
Gonzaga,
Madness.
Jalen Suggs led the. fucking
Everyone is
charge.
going to be
Like,
coming in for a rebound at this point. There's no lazy plays in March. You know, like when you're playing in a
Well,
January
the guards
game,
control the tempo. That's the main thing.
and yeah, that too, but like just all around hustle
Yeah.
and hustle plays. I think like I just think Villanova is so
I-
fundamentally sound and like
I
they're built for
disagree
March.
that Villanova will win, but I agree that I think Jay Wright's the best coach.
Yeah.
If you take away all bias, all past accomplishments, if you're going into this season, I think Jay Wright's the best
I
coach.
think Nova could be soft, man. I think they might be on upset alert. 2-15. They might be soft.
I have them
man.
beating Loyola, Tennessee, Illinois, Kansas, and Kentucky.
They finished the regular
I think
season.
Tennessee's a big question.
Villanova
Tennessee's a
finished
big
the
game.
regular season with a 7-6 record against quad 1 opponents. What do you say about that, Connor?
They had a lot of injuries. They had some guys. One of their best players, who is their guy who's gonna be their X factor. I forget what his name is.
Have they recovered?
Yeah, they just won the Big East.
That's the thing about Houston too. Back to them, they have 2 players who just aren't playing, apparently. So
Yeah, but going back to Villanova, they had a guy who came back late in the year, which is when they've been hitting their stride,
yeah,
and I mean he's really good.
Maybe he'll just mess things up.
I gotta look up. His
should we
name.
should we throw Shaden Sharp in if we need it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to hear what you guys have to say.
I
about
will
that.
have to say that I looked at ESPN's past mock drafts were a big topic of discussion. And Shaden Sharp's a top 10 pick, blah, blah, blah. The last ESPN mock draft doesn't even mention Shaden Sharp. So ESPN has acknowledged that Shaden Sharp is coming back. No ifs, ands, or buts.
What's that have to do about this year, bro?
He just asked if Shaden Sharp's coming in this season. Shaden Sharp is
No,
not.
I asked if you
Why can't he play
thought
this
he
season?
should or not.
He's not playing.
Why can't he?
Don't
No,
know.
he shouldn't at this point. No.
No, there's no
That'd
way.
be stupid.
He shut down.
But I'm excited.
I'm
This
excited.
podcast has got me
too.
excited.
Come
I'm
on,
glad,
high
I'm
fives
glad we
around.
did it the
High
day
fives around.
before.
It's tourney season, baby. It's March
So-
Madness.
All right, Austin. High five you like 8 times. Trying to get over to Connor. But,
I think it's Brandon Slater, by the
You're
way.
just so good at it.
But
It's Brandon
I
Slater,
do
sorry.
give good high fives.
That's a guy from Villanova who's really good.
Okay, yeah, for sure. But pumped. I'll be watching these all day tomorrow. My preschoolers can screw off when
Yeah.
watching March Madness on
Dude.
my iPad.
Oh, you have your. Will you have an iPad so you'll be able to watch? Yeah, so I got 2 monitors in it, It's not shit. It might be up on both. I don't think I can because I'm going to watch through like my Spectrum streaming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll definitely have it on. It might not be the
Alright.
whole screen. I might have to
What
throw it
time?
down in the corner for a little bit.
12:15.
12:15.
12,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Do you
They'll be down for
You
rest
remember
time.
being in high school?
I organized my
rolling.
company's bracket pool, so
I'm
I was
gonna
like,
be
everyone's got to
rolling.
get their bracket in by 12:15.
Remember being in high school and watching the games?
Oh
like,
man,
during the day?
your teacher walked by. You gotta hit you gotta move apps. Yeah, good times.
Oh, it was awesome. And that's what it's gonna feel like tomorrow. I'll just be a grown man in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Oh man.
So I'm excited for it. Leiter, I think you're leaving us this weekend, correct? So you want to?
I am.
There's gonna be games this weekend, correct?
Where are you
Kentucky
going?
plays Thursday and
First,
Sunday.
2 rounds this week.
Where are you going?
Go Nashville.
What are you gonna be doing?
Huh?
Nashville.
You'll be here.
Yeah.
Mike, what will you be doing?
I'm going to Louisville City
I'll
FC
be here,
game
baby.
for the
Can we
season
watch
tickets
games?
I just bought.
Honestly, why not?
Can we watch games?
Tickets are free.
I honestly
aren't
don't
they?
want to go to a bar. I'd rather sit in and watch
Sounds good,
games.
sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Connor, I'll be a nerd this weekend. I'll be a nerd and
No
just watch
shit.
games.
All right. Well, no need to throw that word around.
No,
I like being a nerd.
that's what I mean. Nerd's a compliment in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I use that as a compliment.
Maybe we
I
could play some
literally
D&D
don't-
this weekend.
I'm so down.
No, you can't play D&D and watch March Madness. Let's postpone that to after the tournament. Oh, just to exclude Leiter. Gotcha.
Can y'all fuck around with the puzzle?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's different than D&D.
I want to talk directly to our
We'll make that
listeners
happen.
right now. Do not buy Conor Gerhardt a birthday present because he will neglect the hell out of that
You're kidding.
birthday present. Yeah.
It's a 5-player game. And you're going to blame it on just me?
Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy your March.
Leiter's getting us out of here.
Yeah,
Oh
coming
my
out hot,
God,
man.
dude.
First episode on, I guess.
He wanted to end it on his note.
Hey,
That's
I want
wrong.
to end on my note. I've had a hell of a year as a fan the past year. I gave my heart and soul to
Go
Chelsea FC.
Peacocks.
Not only did we win Champions of Europe, we became champions of the world.
Oh,
I want to
God.
carry the
Problematic
momentum into
club.
March. I want to carry the momentum into March.
Supporting Putin.
Hopefully Kentucky can move forward and become champions in college basketball. Hopefully the Bulls can make a little run in the NBA.
Tom Brady unretired.
Tom Brady came back from the dead. Chelsea, like they try to make us the dead, but we're not the dead. Big win today.
Oh, my God.
Hop on board. Just follow my picks and
We gotta make sure the Bulls and the Cubs owners stay on track because
let's hope
My
the Cubs
two-
owners stay the Cubs owners. That's all I
my
gotta say.
my two owners, two of my owners currently are in some hot water. So, anyways, we did it. We got through the bracket. We have all Wildcats in our finals. Correct? No, you have someone else, don't you, Mike? You got Tennessee.
Balls.
We got one other team. It's the Volunteers. What a night! First time with 4 people on. We had a malfunction with my laptop, but we made it through it. Let's get into these games. I'm gonna let everyone say goodbye. Thank you all for coming on. I hope you come back. You're always invited.
Thank you for having me on. Glad I could finally be here.
You got any plugs, Leiter? You got to plug your social. Leiter just got an Instagram, so you go follow him.
I got an Instagram beside
At,
Will Leiter, WILL,
at,
capital
Farts
LITER.
Did you
Farts
really?
Magoo. You can catch me at OG Big Stacks on Nintendo Switch.
And Xbox.
Go Chelsea Blues. Go Kentucky Wildcats. Yeah, go everybody.
That's a big deal. Connor.
Thanks, guys. Go Cards, of course, but when
Kenny Payne.
when the Birds aren't here, yeah, we're excited about Kenny Payne. I'm just gonna come out and say it's a risky hire. I'm not all the way sold on it.
He's a Louisville guy.
He's a Louisville guy. He's
Not a
Louisville
Kentucky guy.
He's a Louisville guy. Played for us and won a championship with us. So, I'm excited for it. But other than that, it's Cockburn March, baby. It's Cockburn March.
Yeah.
Ready to
I
watch.
feel it.
Well, all right, everybody. That was our March Madness episode.
I don't get an outro.
I thought you already did yours. Sorry, Michael. Go ahead, Michael.
Peace.
Peace.
You heard it first. From here, in my dining room.
Mr. Ogles over here.
Episode number 15 of the Purple Podcast. March Madness coming up, baby. Let's get down into it. Take care of yourselves at home. Once again, thank you for listening. I love you all. Peace.